it's got the Ballon in the box there, and yeah, what do you think about it? Where it's at now? Yeah, it's about 60-something feet long, but I can do that on a pole, clamp to the main fence line and run that thing straight up. And then maybe even run additional ground.
Let's see here. I want to change antennas, and see how much a difference it makes. Put a
multiple different,
oh yeah,
ground rods, and that way, yeah,
that made a difference.
The fence at any point and go right to it. Not a bad idea. Yeah, you could probably do something like that.
That's why you have an extra 15-inch whip. Makes a difference in the fringe signals. I was just using this thing, this stock antenna for one of these radios. I think it was the Wouxun.
I don't know, I like that I can move it around.
I put one of these Nagoya antennas on the Wouxun. 7-inch whip, or whatever it is, 7.6. But this one on this Elenco is 15.6 Nagoya. I believe that's what they are. But they're Nagoyas, and they're good antennas, man. Obviously, this signal was static. Yeah, it was crazy. That was kind of cool. So I like putting on different antennas and stuff like that. Messing around. I like switching antennas. I mean, it's just, the HT hobby. And messing with radios. HTs are fun. But this one here's the Elenco DJ VX50. I still have yet to find a radio that gives you more bang for the buck. I mean, for real. This thing is absolutely awesome. There is a way, so I was doing some research on it. There is a way that you can wideband this through the software. I have not done it yet. I might do it. I don't know. But we'll see. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. My Yaesu FT65, I did wideband it, and I love this radio, man. I know some people complain about the squared off sides or whatever. Like, whatever, man. These things, this feels so good in the hand. I don't care. It just seems to be a good fit for my hands. So does the Elenco. They both do. Oops, hit my light. That's one thing with the 15-inch whip. You fling it around enough, you're going to hit yourself in the face.
Dinking around out there.
That's right, dinking around. That's what I'm doing tonight, just dinking around. Looking at HTs, trying to figure out which one's next and all that stuff. But I got to I'm going to do a full review, opinion review, not necessarily specs, maybe a little bit of specs on the Wouxun, this one here. I did a couple videos on it recently about programming it using Chirp. You got to use a red cable with it. I'm still writing things down as I think of them, things I like, things I don't like. And there are things I don't like. One of the main things is how complicated it is. It just has more of a Baofeng type menu. So when you're in the menu, you scroll up and down like you do the regular UV5R, similar, really very similar stuff. And then it just was not intuitive. You had to interpret what things meant, and I can't even find my manual anymore. I just gave up on it. But it's a great radio, but I'm still deciding whether I would buy one again or not. And maybe that's an answer in itself, because if I'm not saying hell yeah, I'm all in for another radio, I probably wouldn't buy another one. Maybe that's the answer I'll come to. But there's a lot of good about this radio. If they just fix some of the programming, I don't think they will, because this is what it is. I mean, I just don't like it. Just my opinion. I love the radio, but I don't like how it programs. But in Chirp, it's not too bad. That's the thing. But it's very goofy, and I hate the FM garbage. How the FM radio works, that's just ridiculous. And I think, listen to me, I'm just turning this into a rip on the mate. They should have put a designated band, since they put all these other bands in there, scanning groups capabilities. They should have just put in a weather band, because I use that all the time. Almost every day or every other day I'm listening to the Weather Channel. My job affects me quite a bit on weather, so I'm listening to the details of, you know, what's going on out there. And wherever I travel or go, I don't want to have to remember. I do remember, but say I travel to a new place, I don't know all of the NOAA weather stations by heart. I know you can look them up, but if I'm out somewhere in no service or whatever, you get my point, right? It wouldn't have been that hard to just put in a NOAA weather band or a scan group or something with that. So that's probably what I'll end up doing, is making a scan group with all of the NOAA weather. But that's just one more thing. I got to go in there and find all the frequencies, you know, put them all in the menu in Chirp, and then go back into and create a scan group for just those NOAA weather channels, just so I have a scan group, which is fine. I mean, it's better than not having them, but I like simplicity, because if you're somewhere and you forget how to run your radio, that's not good. I already halfway forgot how to get to the FM broadcast, and I forget these steps, and then I'm accidentally saving and overwriting an FM station instead of one more click, and then I'm actually able to accept it and listen to that channel. So it's just a little bit of a gripe. So I don't want to just completely rip on it, because I love the radio. I really do. I like a lot of things about it. The receive LED, or no, there's one LED. I turned it off in Chirp, but this thing would flash, and man, it is blinding. Absolutely blinding. I'm glad they gave the option to turn it off in Chirp, because I was thinking I was going to just take a black marker or something and draw on this little light here. But it would, in fact, I think it was this thing here, this actual bulb. I can't remember for sure which one it was, but man, so I went to bed and had this radio next to my, on my bedside table. And with my eyes closed, I would see this green flash. With my eyes closed, it was that bright. Ridiculously bright. So in Chirp, you can turn it off, which is kind of cool. There's lots of options in there. But yeah, I don't know if I would actually spend $160 again. Another thing, make sure I'm off. I don't really like the PTT. It feels flimsy. I mean, it has a good solid click, but it's flimsy. Like, I don't know. It's hard to really show. It kind of presses, like you can move it like that. It's not very solid. It just feels flimsy. And it moves when you can actually move it when you're pressing it down. Unlike the Yaesu, solid, no movement. That fits my hand really well. I know I saw a review on this thing where one of the points they didn't like is that the thing stuck out to the side like that. And maybe it really is just, due to your different hand sizes, what feels more comfortable in your hand. Just look at that. I mean, I'm just right there. Piece of cake. Left-handed or right-handed with my finger. It's just right there. And maybe this person has smaller hands or something. I don't know. I mean, I got pretty big hands, so it feels fine though. I don't mind the squared off edges. It stands upright, it's not going to tip over very easily. I have no real complaints about this radio. So yeah, this thing for $90, I feel really good about this radio. I mean, I really do. And it's just a solid performer. This radio, I was just eating dinner earlier and I had this on the FM channel listening to a radio station. And this little dinky speaker sounds so good. It's just very impressive how crystal clear it is. And these other ones sound good too, but I really truly think, my opinion, see, all this stuff is kind of subjective, right? So if you like Yaesus, I'm saying some cool stuff right now. If you like the Woshens, I'm not saying so many cool things. There's lots of positives and a few negatives. So the Alincos, I can really boost people's opinion of this too, because I got a lot of good to say about this. This has the air band in it. This one, you had to program it in, and it took me forever to figure it out. This one has it just click function, and then the number 2 takes you right to airband. Click function and 2 again to the NOAA band. Has it programmed right there. Let's see. Click function and 1 FM broadcast. This one, like 4 clicks to get, and whatever, and menu, 4 clicks of 4 different buttons, 3 different buttons to get to the FM radio. It's ridiculous on the FM radio. So plus this one is $70 or $60 cheaper. Plus this one is waterproof. Plus, if you wanted to, you can go into the software and wideband it, so you can monitor other frequencies like fire and emergency and GMRS, FRS, all those. So man, you want to talk about a versatile radio? The Alinco DJ VX50 is it, man. Plus, it, like I said, it's waterproof. Not waterproof. Yaesu, not waterproof. These are very similar. No airband, but it does have FM and weather. Wideband, you know. So I really think if I might have to do a full-on comparison video. I really think this Alinco hits above its price range. Really, I really do. I think this is a hell of a radio. So yeah. And then I don't have any, or I took the antenna off this, so let's put this antenna on. This is my Anytone 878. You know what's funny? You go and click on some videos, a person's holding this up. Best radio of 2021 or 2022 or whatever. It's like, why is it the best? This one, similar kind of a thing. It's a pain in the rear to figure out how to program. Plus it's DMR. Code plugs and all that stuff. DMR is a whole different world. But this one, in order to go scan a band or a group or whatever, a zone, this is called, these call it zones. You have to go menu, like here, let's see, menu, scan list 1. I mean, so maybe that's out. Scan off or on. Scan on. Let's select. Okay, so it's scanning there, but that's what it took to scan, right? The Evotion, one button, press to scan, but you have to go in and choose which scan group you want to scan, or you can scan the whole radio. It'll let you scan everything. So you have 1,000 channels, it'll let you scan 1,000 channels one by one by one by one. They're very slow scan. These are not designed to work like a regular scanner, police scanner, or Uniden or Bearcat or whatever. They're not designed for that, but one button push scan. So let's see, the Yaesu is trying to remember what scan is. See, I can't even remember what scan is on there, but I want to say, oh yeah, no, it's up and down arrow, press and hold, it'll scan. And then this one has function 5 on the Alinco. Function 5 is scan. So this one's actually pretty cool. It's very intuitive. See, it's function 1 for FM, function 2 for airband, function 2 star for weatherband, function 5 for scan. You know, all of those things. So it really is very intuitive, and it's very. These are all labeled. The what do you call it? The front panels, the buttons are labeled. So I'm not going to give you guys an answer. I'm just talking, goofing around tonight in the studio, listening to guys talk on the radio, enjoying my, oops, see that big old antenna? I'm hitting things with it. That's funny. I was listening to 80 meters a little bit. Some guys talking on there about solar panels. You can actually learn quite a bit listening to some of these hams. Some of these guys are pretty darn smart, and you can learn a lot. So my videos, generally speaking, are for beginners, and I am not a master at ham radio by any means. I dabble in it, and I have fun messing with radios, buying radios, playing with radios, talking on the radios. I don't know how to work on them. I know a few little things here and there. Antennas are fun. Those are kind of fun to work with. But I just dabble, and it takes me a long time to figure out how to work something. So even I like things that are intuitive, right? Like one of my next purchases in the next, near future is hopefully going to be an ICOM 7300. But after watching some videos on that, it feels very intuitive. I don't like things that aren't intuitive. Like you need a master degree to figure out this from the front panel. I mean, it's just me. Why I can go into one radio and figure it out really easy, and then another radio is like foreign language. Maybe that's why, because they're made in a foreign country, they think differently. I have, honestly, I have no idea. I really don't. But anyhow, yeah, I'm just goofing around. But maybe I will do, out of the radios that I have at least, because I'm not going to come out here and say best radio of 2021 because it's cost $300. No, I'm not doing that. And I think this $100 radio sounds better than this $300 one here. This has some really cool options though, and I love it. It's just every radio, it has its own unique characteristics, and it's just fun to play with your toys, Anyhow, thanks for watching, you guys. Rambling. What do you guys think? Do you think the Wouxun is a pain? Or, like now that I've learned it, and spent some time with it, it's not so bad. I can navigate around, but there's certain things I really don't like about it. Do you guys like the Alencos, the Yaesus? What do you guys have for radios? And, I'm not doing direct comparisons. I'm just talking. I do like the Alenco for a lot of reasons. I do a lot of hiking, outdoorsy stuff, fishing. I can leave this thing laying out on the boat and not worry about it getting wet. I got lots of good options with this radio, and it's only $100. I mean, it's just incredible. You guys like the Alenco? Anyhow, or do you like the good old Baofangs? I don't really want to do reviews or even, comparisons so much, but the Baofangs are so prolific. It's just everybody's got one, you know what I mean? So they end up being compared to a lot. But there really are lots of good options out there besides those. And, $100 is nothing compared to what you get. I mean, these are just so much better. I absolutely would use this any day over a Baofeng UV5R. And I like my UV5Rs. I do. They're fun. They're just kind of, not the greatest quality. It is, once you start messing with good quality radios, you realize that those aren't the greatest. Anyhow, I probably offended people talking about radios today, but I'm critical on things. I'm positive on some things. It's just how I feel about them. Like I said, it's very subjective. Everything about this, whether you like one or not, objectively, it's really easy. You just compare the options. This one has this one doesn't have this one has this, and so on. And then you base it upon performance. Don't come and tell me you think this is a good radio because you did an unboxing video on YouTube. That's BS. I've used this radio a lot. I've carried it with me a lot. I've spent time forcing myself to get used to it and learn it, and the ins and outs, what it can and can't do. So you have to use a radio for quite some time to even know if it's a good radio, how it performs, whether you can tell me it's a good radio or not. It definitely has its quirks, so I'm not going to sit here and unbox it. I like it. Maybe, you know, you pull it out of the thing, oh, it feels good, it looks cool, turns on, the sounds good, you know, whatever. A real quick little overview, but you have no idea how it performs just unboxing it. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to try and give a real review of these things. So the Alinco I've spent a lot of time with, so I can tell you that absolutely 100% this thing is more than worth the $100 that it costs. 100% worth it. These other ones, I'm not so sure. This one, my video is getting ridiculously long. I'm sorry. I'm just rambling. This one, I'm not going to buy another one. I'm not into DMR. Not yet. I got it because I wanted the capability. Someday down the road, maybe. I do have a code plug in there and I can use it. I'm not a huge fan of garbly audio. But some people are. I'm not so much. But the analog aspect of that works really well. And it works good on repeaters and stuff too. But it's not really the best thing. So this is really good for FM repeaters. And the scanning functions aren't that great. It's slow scanning and it's kind of finicky on some things. And then this one, pretty darn good so far. I'm really liking this radio so far. I'm not going to give a review on it until I spend some time with it. So anyhow, thanks you guys. 25 minutes of just talking radios. What do you guys think? Leave your comments. Not so much negative about how long I rambled about nothing really, but what you guys think about radios. What's your favorite radio? I'm looking for another radio like next in line to do. So now I'm kind of past this Wouxun. I'm kind of onto this, so I'm trying to stay ahead of the game. And I want to hear what you guys like and think I should review next. Maybe something to compare to this Alinco. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you want to. Appreciate it. And we'll catch you next time.